Is it awesome?
Yes. When?
Okay. So I'm going to introduce Eric. So most of you guys, some of you know him that have done this before, and you know how incredible this man is in helping. This is just Zoom number one. Eric, remind me, you do another Zoom, correct? That really walks people through troubleshooting.
Yes, I'm gonna host that Monday night.
Okay, so that'll be Monday night. So you guys that need like he'll hold you by the hand and walk you through everything if there's any additional questions or confusion, which was so incredible that you did that last time. So Eric, I'm going to actually let you talk a little bit more about you, but I'm just going to basically share a personal testimony of this incredible 14-day challenge. So it was everything that I didn't know that I needed and more. And when I finally had a CRM system that actually spoke to me as a network marketer, that changed everything. But it was also how it was designed, where it's not to overwhelm you, it's actually to get you really dialed in and focused. You have actually your people that the app recommends that you reach out to every single day. You create a follow-up list, but my favorite part was closing rings. I'm a big close ring girl. I wouldn't go to sleep unless those rings were closed. So for our brain, it's very gamified that it does inspire you and motivate you to want to get on every single day and just close those rings out. And you just feel so good for the rest of the day because it's like, I worked my business, I did the money making activities. And so this becomes your daily DMO. And my business grew the most when I was very dialed into doing this. So I need this again as well. I love doing it with accountability with the group. So again, really, really excited for all of you guys to do this. It's a game changer in your business. I'm going to pass the baton to you, Eric.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and work with you again, Christy, and of course with Abby. This is going to be so much fun. So what we're going to do in the time we have today, I'm going to introduce some principles because it's principle-based business, right? Some principles that Teamzy runs on, and I think it aligns really well with what you all are doing. Then I'm going to show you just a quick demo of Teamzy. And then I want to outline what the challenge looks like, what commitment you need to bring to the table, and everything that's provided for you in the challenge. I will be doing another Zoom Monday night where we will go in depth into setting up, and for anyone who needs help with that. 80% of you, or maybe even a higher percentage, will between now and Monday figure it all out on your own because it's pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy to follow. But we'll be on there for that or any advanced questions you might have. So I will give you guys the link to that at the end today, so that you have it, and of course your leaders will have it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if that's okay. She's going to authorize me.
Abby, will you make me a co-host too so I can keep it quiet?
There we go. Okay. So really, this is the goal of the Kickstart Challenge. It's to create massive momentum. Anyone in for that? We want to create momentum. And the beautiful thing is our Teamzy kind of tagline is build your team, build your business, build your life in that order, right? And so we create momentum together as a team. That's why we want to do a challenge together as a team. And I'm going to take you guys through and really just show you how literally in 14 days you can create massive momentum. Just a little bit about me. I'll jam through this quickly. I'm a husband, a father of four, lover of people and dogs. Sometimes dogs more than people, but I love both. Okay. And I help business owners build successful relationship-based businesses. I've been a professional business coach actually 25 years now. I need to update that one. The time, the days are long, but the years are short, right? I've had the opportunity to train a lot of people in this industry from more than 90 networks over the past 10 years with Teamzy, founder of Teamzy, the number one CRM in direct selling. I also wrote a book called Power Hour Boss. Okay, there's the family. Need to update this picture a little bit too because they keep growing. But, I just wanted to tell you guys that going back to that shot of the family, like most of you, I'm sure family was my number one why and motivation. And I worked for many years as a coach and consultant for a large consulting company. helping people build their business, learning the principles of successful business building. The problem, and I loved it. Oh my gosh, I loved that job so much. But I never saw my family. I was constantly working. I know some of you guys can relate. Some of you may be working as well, trying to balance everything. And at the time, my two kids on the left were just like tiny, tiny kids. And I honestly never saw them unless they were in pajamas. They were in pajamas when I left, and they were in pajamas when I came home. And, that was like the extent of my relationship. And then after getting the kids to bed, in the bath, in the bed, whatever, 30, 40 minutes with my wife before we both fell asleep on the couch type thing. And that was kind of what we were sold as the way life is. I just wanted something different. I wanted to be able to really have financial freedom, but at the same time have quality of life with my family. So that's what got me into direct sales initially, was to create an avenue for myself. But as soon as I started working the business, I realized, oh my gosh, there's no tools, there's no systems. How in the world can I do this and work a full-time job and try to be a dad? And I'm a guy. I mean, it's much worse when you're a woman. You've got 10 more things to do. So I knew that we needed a tool. And luckily I had experience building tools in the real estate industry, which is the industry I come from. So I understood the technology. The problem was, and this is true of the real estate industry too, there's really only one product that follows the same principles. It's mine in the real estate industry, is that everything is based on like cold sale marketing. And this is a relationship business, right? So we needed a system that would help us build relationships. So we'll get into that in a second. A little bit of history on Teamzy. We've been around 10 years. It's a simple, easy to use CRM for direct sales. We've had a lot of people use it. It's been an incredible blessing to us and hopefully to all of them. Just to give you an idea of results, our active users are averaging 21 customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. That statistic has held true all 10 years, which has been pretty cool. I don't know, there must be some mathematical thing about that. It's pretty cool, but so it works. All right, now let me talk a little bit about relationship marketing, because relationship marketing is the system Teamzy's built on. It's all about systems, right? Systems give us momentum. They give us flow. They help us to be better than we are naturally. So relationship marketing, first and foremost, it's a philosophy. Okay. It's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. The relationship is the most important thing, right? The sales are a result of the relationships. It's not an abstract feel good concept. I know some people watching me say this are like, okay, here comes the guy with the hugs and the kumbaya. How do I get the numbers? But I want you to know that it is a proven system that we can follow, always knowing what to do next. Always knowing what to do next. So here's the first principle I want to relay to you today, and that's this: developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Okay, developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. And you guys are business owners, right? You're business owners. Um, I uh, I don't have a fancy MBA. I did a 10-day MBA course so that I could talk to MBAs in my previous job. Sometimes I feel like I knew more from the 10-day online course. But when you do that program, they tell you that the duty of a business is profit. And I'm here to tell you, as a business owner, your duty is building and deepening relationships, building and deepening relationships. And then what happens is we turn relationships into advocates. We turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. An advocate is somebody who is so excited about the mission you're on that they want to introduce other people to it. Okay. An advocate does not have to be a customer. Often they're not. Often they're not. It's about the relationship. Okay. Next principle: relationship marketing depends on trust. I always say this means if you're a jerk, it ain't going to work. Okay. And this industry, you guys, our industry is rife with deception and trickery. I know I usually use softer words, but it is kind of, it's like the whole, and that is why people are so skeptical. But I want you guys to know that even though those tactics may work for some, overall, building trust is the most effective way to do it. And It aligns with who we are, right? It aligns with our integrity. It aligns with our authenticity. So a couple things on trust. Trust makes the work fun. When people trust you, you don't have to convince them. You don't have to be a slick salesperson. You can get right to the helping part of the business, right? Which is why we're here. Trust also removes the ickiness from the sales process. Ickiness is a technical term that all of us want to avoid. We don't want to feel icky or come across icky. And you will never feel that way working the system. And you get to go for yes. So instead of this idea that success is built under a mountain of rejection, I want you to know that when you're focused on building relationships and trust, there's very little rejection. You're building yeses because you're building relationships. Okay. So keep in mind when I say building relationships and when I say building trust, I'm really talking about the same thing because they are the same thing. Okay. And if you want to do this, you've got to be in regular contact with people because trust isn't built with one conversation or building rapport. It's built over time, right? But I understand your time is scarce, which is why we built Teamzy so that you can do this very effectively and efficiently and using little time. Okay. So here's the big principle of the day. And then I'm going to jump into showing you Teamzy and kind of how it works. Investing time and connecting personally with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Okay. Investing time connecting personally with people is the only way to deepen relationships. I'm going to kind of illustrate this a little for you, but just taking it to its logical conclusion. If our primary duty is to build and deepen relationships, and this is the only way to do it, this is what we got to do, right? And this is exactly what we built Teamzy to help you guys do. Now, just really quick, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a quick second so I can see your faces. Hit escape. Hey, there you are. Okay, just really quick, how many of you have ever received something like this? These are happy birthday postcards that I got from my life insurance person. You guys ever received something like this? The dentist, life insurance. My dog gets them from the vet. Um, is it nice to get these? Is it nice to, yeah? How many of you have received these and thought it was nice? And how many of you have received these, thought it was nice, and you kept them? Like they're so special, you had to keep them. Nobody. Okay, so Andrea's laughing because she knows where I'm going with this. How many of you have received a card or a note with a handwritten message from somebody you loved? Hopefully everybody. Anyone who doesn't raise their hand, get their address. We need to write them a note today. Okay, how many of you have saved one of those? How many of you have a note or a letter from somebody you love that you kept? Who has a pile or a stockpile of these somewhere stashed? I know all the moms do, right? You've got the bins from all the kids. So what's the difference? One is so precious you cannot part with it. The other one barely makes it. If you're like me and you enter the house through the garage, I've got the recycling bin next to the car where most of the mail goes, right? Like it doesn't make it in even into the house. The difference is the principle. Connecting personally and investing time. When somebody writes you a handwritten message, it's to you and it took their time. And then you value it. Does that make sense? Now, what I'm not saying is you need to just write letters and notes all day long because there are other ways that you can do that where you can invest time and connect personally. However, if there's a good reason to write somebody a handwritten note, it is really powerful still to do it. People will keep them forever. So I definitely recommend that when you have a really good reason you need to encourage somebody or thank somebody, it's a good thing to do. However, even just sending a text message or DMing somebody through a social media platform, it takes an investment of time and it's just to them, right? And this is why, by the way, before the question comes up at the end, this is why Teamzy doesn't do any blast communications. We don't do blast communications because of this principle. What we do is we tee it up for you so you can message people individually very quickly and efficiently so that you can do it almost as fast, but they're individual personal messages. Does this make sense? Okay, so I can tell you guys are tracking with me. Let me come back in here real quick. So if you guys are in agreement with me that it's about building relationships, that relationships are the core of the business, that we need to be connecting personally with people to build relationships, The next thing we have to look at is that you need a system to do this. You got to have a system to follow. Otherwise, you go into a power hour and you're going, okay, who do I message? Who's on my list? You're scrolling through your social media feeds thinking about who to message, and you end up not being very efficient. So you need a way that you can stay in contact with all your relationships. By the way I define relationships is everybody you're connected to. So it's everyone in your phone, everyone on your social media, all the people you know in the world, right? Your family, friends, all your relationships. You should know when to contact them and frankly when not to. Know what you're going to say so you don't spend 10 minutes on each person thinking about it. How many of you guys do that? I used to too. And then make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. How many of you have had somebody you're talking to, they've shown a little interest and they fell off your follow-ups list, and the next thing you know, it's 3, 4 months later. And you're like, shoot, I forgot that person. So we want to make sure that people don't fall through the cracks. Okay. I did pretty well. Sometimes I'll spend way too much time on that section because I get so excited about it. Let me show you Teamzy and we'll jump in real quick. Okay. How many of you have already kind of started using it, playing with Teamzy a little bit? A few of you. Okay, great. I have a problem. I have 2 screens and like 60 windows open. That's my confession to you guys. So it takes me a minute to find screens. Okay, so when you first set up Teamzy, and everyone gets a 14-day free trials, no strings attached, so you can get in there and try it out. So just so you guys know. When you first come in, it's going to ask you to set up an income goal. And you can see that page there. You can slide this little circle to make your income goal massive or whatever you think is reasonable. I typically say at least set it for a 6-figure goal. Now, what this goal means is 12 months from now, if I consistently apply this program, this is what I would like to achieve. Does that make sense? Okay. So at 100K goal, Teamzy is going to automatically calculate the amount of activity I need to be doing 5 days a week to get there in a year. Okay. So in this example, I'm going to connect with, and we kind of divide people into 3 groups. You've got prospects, your customers, and your planners. Okay, prospects are everyone that's not in the other 2 categories. Does that make sense? Okay. So it's asking me to reach out and connect with 6 prospects, reach out and connect with 4 customers, reach out and connect with 3 planners. So 13 people. Now in Teamzy, that might take you 20, 30 minutes. Okay, 20, 30 minutes. So it's not a huge investment of time. I just want to explain this word connect. I use the word connect a lot because that's all we're doing is connecting. Okay. Don't be confusing connect with a follow up. A follow up is following up on something. So for a follow up to happen, there has to have been something to follow up on. Does that make sense? So just to clarify the language, because sometimes people will say, they'll connect and they'll connect again and think they're following up. No, you're just connecting again. The connection is just something that we do to try to create a conversation with somebody. Okay. And I'll show you guys how to do that in a minute. Okay. So I'm going to hit continue. The next step is to import your contacts. I'll go in depth on this if you need help on Monday night. But a couple of things I just want to point out is you can upload any file from a CSV, which is like a computer version of an Excel file. Okay. So if you export, like if you get an export from Riman, it'll most likely be in CSV format. Um, and you can upload that directly in. But for those of you who are just getting started, we have this, if you're using Chrome, which I am using Chrome right here, you can actually sync your Facebook friends with 1 click and get all of those contacts into Teamzy and start working with them. And then you can also log into Teamzy through your phone and sync your phone contacts. So for most of you, between your phone contacts and your Facebook list, you're going to have a massive number of people you can start connecting with right away. Okay. And then in our help center, there's instructions for every other social network that you can imagine on how to get contacts over if you have contacts in other social networks. Okay. I'm going to skip that. So now we're on our Teamzy dashboard, and you guys can see these are the famous circles that Christy was talking about. And I will just say one thing, not as a matter of pride, but just as a matter of IP. We had the circles before Apple. But it's a great interface, and I'm glad Apple did it because it actually helps us because everybody's used to it and they love doing it. Okay. I don't want to say that. I shouldn't even say that because Now Apple's going to tell me I can't use my circles, right? I better be careful. Okay. So there's 5 circles. Okay, 5 circles. And in a power hour, our goal is to close these circles. It's that simple. Okay, now what Teamsy's going to do for you is it's going to tee up everything. So you don't have to think, you don't have to plan. You can get right into action. Now, Teamzy is a CRM, which stands for Contact Relationship Manager. I don't know who comes up with these terms. Engineers do, I guess. That's a software program that helps you organize all your contacts. So it is a library of contacts. All your contacts are in here. You can keep um, notes on everybody. It'll track all the times you connect with them. So each person will have a record. My business partner, Mike Lopez, likes to call it your relationship journal, right? It's like the journal of your relationship building with each person. But the dashboard will actually mine that information so you don't have to dig through it and tell you exactly what to do. Okay, so let me show you how this works. So when you come to do a power hour, this section's called power hour. It's really simple. You cannot mess this up. You go to do power hour, you go to the section called power hour. The lists are what's called the who's up next list. It'll tell you who's up next. Okay, so we're going to work from left to right. The first group is prospects, and you can see I've already got my prospects list is already loaded for me. It's got the next 5 people I need to connect with. Okay, so without having to think or plan, I can see Abby's first. Okay. I want to connect with her. Now, if you're not sure how to connect, we've put a scripts library into Teamzy for you. There's over 100 of my best scripts that I've refined and used over the years that work incredibly well at connecting. Okay. These aren't sales scripts, they're connection scripts. The goal of a connect is simple. It's just to make someone stay. Okay. The goal is to make someone stay. It's not to try to get them involved with your business. It's not to do anything else, but to make someone stay. And the reason why this is so effective is because people love having their day made and they respond to it. Okay. By the way, you will love making people stay also. This will be fun for you as well. So, for example, for Abby, I'm going to click on scripts. That's right here. So the way this works is the left side is who's up next. The right side is where I log that I messaged her. So it's tracked as I go. I don't have to go through different screens or anything. It's all right here. So I'm going to click on scripts and I'm going to choose the type of script. Okay. So let's say I am going to do Facebook message. So I'll click on that. I'll get one of those scripts. So you can see there's some connect scripts and follow-up scripts. I'll explain the follow-up scripts in a minute. So connect number 1 says, hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. Okay. Super simple connect script. I'm going to just copy that. So I'm going to paste it in here. This is an extra step, but I like to do it this way because I can't tell you how many times I've sent Jane a message when her name wasn't Jane. So I like to just edit it here. If you want to do any editing to this, if it doesn't sound like you, feel free. Just don't get stuck overthinking. Okay, just don't get stuck overthinking. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this and paste it into Messenger. I've got Facebook open in another thing right here. There's Abby. There she is. Okay, so I'm going to message her. You guys have the best photography, I tell you. Look, so I'm sending her this message real time. You guys see this? Boom, I sent it. Okay, now I'm going to toggle back over to Teamzy. And when I log this as a Facebook message, you can log all kinds of connects. You see the different types of connects? There's tons. Okay, I'm going to log this as a Facebook message. When I click the big blue log connect button, watch what happens to my prospect circle. It starts to close. Okay, so now I've got 1 done, 5 left. Christy's up next. We'll message Christy. Okay, so I'll message Christy, pretend I'm messaging her. Christy's not on this call with us, is she? I won't actually message her. We'll pretend. Okay,
She's not, but she is doing this challenge again, Eric.
I figured she was, but all right. So I won't actually send her the message, but you can see my circle starting to close. Okay, so then if I message Christy, the same message. Again, I'm pretending to save us time. I'm not actually toggling over messaging. You guys you actually have to send the message through Messenger, through text, or whatever it is. Teamsy's not going to send the messages for you. Okay, so you got to go send them and then log it. Does that make sense? And this is there's an important reason why we did that. Because when you send a message through a third-party app like Teamzy, it shows up looking spammy. Does that make sense? And we want these to be personal message. Like if you're an iPhone user, we want the blue iMessage. We don't want the green sales message. Does that make sense? Okay. So you can see that circle's closing. So I'm going to work my way down the list. You can use the same script, change the name, right? If you're just connecting to make somebody's day. My goal was 6. So as I go down and I message 6 people from my prospects list, that circle will close. That signals to me I'm done with prospects for today. Feels so good. Now you may be excited and want to keep going. I will just tell you a cautionary tale. The very first day I had Teamzy myself, I was the only person in the world who had it. I was testing it. The guys had figured out how to get my Facebook friends in, and I started messaging. And it was like 4 a.m. I was excited. I was doing my messaging. And before I looked up, I had sent 49 messages. Okay. I had sent 49 messages. I got 49 responses. So it was very difficult to keep up with all those conversations. So I will tell you guys, a little each day is the best way to do it. Unless you just want to be. Now, I had a really good month. And at that time, I was doing the now defunct Beachbody. And I got a letter from the CEO for my month and stuff. It was great. It was the month of, by the way, it was the month of November. I was selling weight loss in the month of November. That was when I was like, Teamzy is it. It's going to work. So when that circle's closed, you go to the next list. It's customers. Okay, so the same thing. When I see Claudia there, I'm going to go to scripts and get a script for my customers. Okay, so let's pretend I use Messenger a lot to talk to people. So you can just connect with customers. Same way you've got some connects. There's some specific customer connects like this one. How are you enjoying the products? You need to take the products out and put in what they're using. Okay. Please send me an update. Let me know I can be of help. Or my favorite one, this is a great one for your team or for customers, which is, hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. That's my favorite one to send, by the way. I'll challenge you guys who are new today when you do this, send that message, just checking in to see if there's anything I do to make your day to like 3 of your favorite customers and see what happens. Okay. So the same thing, we'll change the name to Claudia. We'll log this. And then as I'm messaging my customers, you'll see the pink circle for customers closing. Now, just really quick, the importance of connecting with customers. It's so important. The customers that you have are solid gold. Okay. I just want you guys to know this. If you have 5 customers, like let's say you're new and you've got 5 customers, great. Those 5 customers are worth more than all your Instagram followers because they already trust you. They already are loving the products. Okay, so a couple things on this. If you consistently connect with customers, and this I guarantee you is why when we do a 14-day kickstart, team volumes boost dramatically because people don't typically stay in regular contact with customers like they want to. This will help you do that. But when you stay in regular contact with customers, statistically, they order more products. Okay, so they're using one thing, you're in regular contact, they're going to start ordering more things. It's like when you go to a great restaurant and the service is great and they're present, you end up ordering more things. You have a better time. You spend more. Everyone wins, right? You have a better experience and they were able to sell more things to you. Everyone wins. So when we stay in contact, you will see they will order more. Also, customers who are not currently ordering will often order just by you connecting with them. Okay. So people that you think are gone, maybe they just didn't need it or whatever, they canceled a subscription, whatever the case may be, they will return. So if you guys are like at this last 2 days in the month and you're not going to qualify, the best place to go is your cancel list and just start saying hello to people. You'll be shocked how many people will be like, I've been meaning to contact you. I need more product. Okay. The other thing, the number one reason to be in regular contact with customers is your customers are your best source for new planners. The people loving the products are the best, most likely people to want to represent the company and or introduce friends to you because they are having conversations about the products. Okay, people are always talking about their skincare. They're having the conversation. So just imagine this. Your customers right now are talking to friends and family about it, but they don't know how to connect the dots. So when you reaching out, a lot of times can get that introduction. I was just talking to my friend Sally about Ramon the other day. Oh, would you mind introducing us in a group text? And I will get her more information. Okay. And then, and where appropriate, you could even say, have you ever considered doing what I do? Because if your friends are interested, we might be able to get you started in a business of your own. Or if you're not into really pursuing the business, we might be able to set it up so that you can make enough to cover all your products. Would that be interesting? So that opportunity comes by being a regular contact with customers. So when the customer circle is closed, you can go to your planners. This is your team. By the way, this is why we named it Teamzy, because without your team, you're not going to go very far. Okay. And here's the thing. We've got this we've got this model that a lot of us emulate, which is a good model. Don't get me wrong. We have Facebook groups, you have WhatsApp chats, you've chats. You guys get together at conference. You guys just did that, right? You break some bread together. You do some great things to build relationships. But there's a lot of people on the team you don't get to see at convention, and maybe you'll see them on a Zoom call or something. But I want you guys to know that first principle, which is building relationships, takes personal time. It takes an investment of time, personal connection. So we need to be connecting with our team members as well intentionally. So this will help you stay on top of those relationships with your team. So my goal is 3 planners. So if I've got 3 planners, I'm going to message my 3 planners, checking in to make their day, see how they're doing, if they need anything. Okay. Now, for those of you who are new, if you don't have customers or planners, you're just going to take those goals and you're going to put them all on prospects. Okay. So, and we'll talk about that a little bit more on Monday night. But if you're new, in this example where I had 13 a day, you would be doing 13 prospect connects because you don't have customers or planners yet. No big deal. But as the team grows, you're going to want to balance that out through the 3 groups. So when I close my planner circle, I've reached out and I've sent 13 messages. I'm 20 minutes in, just using the scripts, done, just fired them off. Now you're going to go to the 4th one, which is your follow-ups, and you're going to see if you have any due. Now, I don't have any follow-ups due, but once you start doing this for a few days, you will have people on the follow-ups list. So let me talk about what that is. The follow-up is what we do after a share. So you see that 4th circle of shares. So let me explain to you what I mean by share. A share is not, I represent Riman. Are you interested? Okay. A share is when you actually have a conversation with somebody who's shown some interest, and you are sharing with them a product solution that will help them with their needs, or the business opportunity, or maybe both at the same time. Okay. That's a share. So the idea is we're going to start conversations through connecting. We're going to, as they respond, we're going to have human interactions with people. We're going to have a real conversation. We're going to be interested in them. We're going to see if we can uncover wants and needs and interest. And when there's interest, then we're going to set up a real conversation. A lot of times it's going to be Zoom or in person, right? Or maybe on the good old fashioned telephone, where you have a actual conversation about the opportunity or about a product solution you put together for them based on their needs. Okay. That's a share. Does this make sense? So we want to track shares because we're starting conversations not just to start conversations. We're hoping that if we start enough conversations, we'll uncover interest and it'll lead to shares. So you can see my goal is to share 1 a day. I'm going to try to start 13 conversations and generate 1 share a day. Okay. But think about this. If I succeed in doing that, which you guys can and will, that's 5 shares a week. Okay. Most people will convert at least 2 out of 5 to a sale or a planner. So that's, what is that? 8 people a month joining your business. Okay, just on the low end average conversion. So the momentum builds quickly. Okay, so let me explain how we do a share. So in my example, I'll use Christy as my example. I sent Christy a make her day message and she responds. Okay, so we have a little back and forth. We chit chat a little bit, like normal people. And in the course of the conversation, she wants to learn more about Ramon. Great. So now we're gonna have a call. So we have that call. We're in different time zones, so we would do it on Zoom, right? So we have a Zoom call. I'm gonna actually go back into Teamzy now and record that I had a Zoom call with Christy and that it was a share. So this is how I do it. look her up in my lookup bar. There she is. That jumps me to her contact record. This is where I have all of my records of everything I've done with her. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the connect box and click on connect, that box, that logging connect box, just like on the dashboard. And I'm going to put in here that we had a Zoom call. We have it listed as video chat because people use different ones. I'm going to put all my notes from our call. Okay. And right here, I'm going to click on share. And what kind of share was it? Okay, so let's say it was a product share. Great. So now it's going to automatically create a follow-up in 2 days because now I have something to follow up on. If we had a conversation and it didn't lead to a share, I wouldn't set a follow-up because she's going to come back on my Teamzy dashboard automatically based on, I forgot to mention this, but based on her rankings. We have a 5-star system. So if I gave her 5 stars, she'd come back in 30 days automatically. I don't have to set a follow-up. If she was 4 stars, she comes back in 60 days. If she's 3 stars, she comes back in 90 days. By the way, most of the people on your list will be 3 stars, okay, because you don't know them that well. And if you stalk them every month, they're going to think you're weird. So every 3 months is a good cadence. 2-star people would come back every 4 months, okay? 1-star people are in there, but they don't come up on your dashboard ever. They're kind of like the people you look up when you need them, okay? So Christy, I'm not going to set a follow-up if I don't share, but in this case, I shared. So it's going to set my follow-up in 2 days. That's like a safety net. I always recommend tomorrow. Okay. And just a little tip on this, when you are sending a follow-up with somebody, when you're having the conversation, there will be a small percentage of people who like are ready to purchase on the call with you. Okay. But most people need to talk to the husband. They need to think about whatever. They're busy. They got to go pick up their kids, whatever is the case may be. So just plant this little seed. Hey, I'll check in with you tomorrow and see if you have any questions. Okay. Now, what that is it's promising to follow up. Now, it's really good to keep your promises. Do you guys agree? So promise to follow up and then keep your promise. Something powerful happens in the relationship when you make a promise and keep it. So we're going to schedule this. We're going to log this and it's going to schedule the follow-up. So you can see it logged, a share of products through video chat. All the notes would be there. And then I have a follow-up scheduled for tomorrow. So if I go back to my dashboard, if we were in tomorrow, there'd be a little notification right here showing that I have a follow-up due. Okay, so when you're doing your power hour, you look for that little red notification. If you have follow-ups due, you click on that tab and you do your follow-up. So I'm going to pretend it's tomorrow and we're going to do the follow-up with Christy. So here she is. I've got a follow-up scheduled for her. I'll go to my scripts because we made this so easy for you guys. And I'm going to choose follow-up 1. Okay, so 1, easy. And then the next time I'll send follow-up 2. You guys really, honestly, everyone on your team can do this. You don't have to be good at this. So follow-up 1. It says, hi, Christy, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Okay, so you're going to keep that promise. Okay, so you're going to copy that. Boom. We'll send it to her. Change the name. The capital R in there. Okay. If you guys think that I'm a bad typist now, you should see me when I have I have a walking pad here. You should see me trying to do it while I'm walking. Okay. So look, I'm going to toggle over to Christy. We'll do this real time one more time, just to remind you guys how to do it. I'm going to message her. Here we go. Boom. I'm checking in like I promised I would. It's sent real time. Toggle back to Teamzy. Now, when I log this message in Teamzy, it's going to ask me, did that complete the scheduled follow-up? I'm going to leave it checked because yes, it did, but I'm going to click on add another follow-up. So let's say it's Friday. I'll follow up again Monday. Okay, great. Leave myself a note. That's going to be FU2. Okay, and complete. By the way, that means follow-up number 2. Just clarifying. Okay. So now when I come in here on Monday and it says I have a follow-up due, I don't have to remember where I am with Christy. I can look at this and I can see that it's follow-up number 2. If I want to, I can go to activity and I can read all my notes again, or I can just go to scripts and grab follow-up number 2. Hi, Christy, just making sure you got my message. Check in to see if you have any questions. Boom, send. Okay. Rinse and repeat until you get to follow-up number 10. Now, this is a key piece I want you guys to understand, and that is, and you've probably heard this before, 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and the 10th follow-up. 7 and 10. Okay, 7 and 10. And this is a principle that's known in business. So you have to be willing to keep going. Now, there's like a human behavior thing here where they're interested and then they get back into their regular routine of life. Okay? So it's like you're picking up your kids, whatever. I always joke like your message comes through, they see it, but like the dog's throwing up on the baby, I got to go handle that. I'll deal with it later type thing. So they don't always respond. They are not ghosting you. I will tell you that the vast majority of people will not respond to the first 5 or 6 follow-up messages. That's okay. If you know that that's the case, then you won't be upset or hurt by it. Okay. But here's what's happening. When you send nice, easy, non-annoying messages like the ones we've crafted for you, they will see them. They will always see them. You want them to be short and sweet so they show up on the lock screen in the phone. They don't have to open them. They're not going to open the messages sometimes because they can't respond right now and they don't want to look like a jerk for reading it and not responding. How many of you guys do that? So we're just going to stay in touch. We're going to stay in touch. What will happen often around the 6th follow-up is you'll get a response. They'll be apologetic and you're back in the conversation. So this is the process, you guys. You connect with prospects, customers, planners every day, building relationships, connecting, having great conversations, having fun. Then when they respond, you have conversations with people. The idea is that some of those will lead to a share. You share. You got to be consistently sharing with those people who are interested. Then you follow up professionally with those people who you've shared with. And what you will see is that consistent rate of conversion in your business. Okay. You're not trying to force it on anybody, but if you're having enough conversations, you're creating opportunities and you always have people joining every single month. Does this make sense? Okay. I think I did pretty well because normally I can talk all day on that. And again, Christy's like, yeah, I've been here 90 minutes with him before. So, again, if you guys want deeper on that, there's a bunch of different resources. I've filmed a ton of videos for you in our help center that you can watch. You can go deeper in some of the training. And I'm also going to come back live with you guys with these 2 teams on Monday night. So if you guys want to get live again, it will be more nitty gritty on Teamzy and how it works, getting your contacts in, and some of the nuances of setting it up. Okay. All right. But I will point you. Oh, actually, I stopped sharing. I will point you to a couple resources really quick. The main one is this, the Help Center right here, the Help Center. So the Help Center is where you will find all those videos, trainings, FAQs. So when you click on one of these FAQs, right? So like, um, what's a good example of one that you guys are going to ask? Um, how do I upload my Instagram followers? Okay, so here's an example. When you click on an FAQ, what you're going to find is step-by-step instructions. Okay, so you really can self-do all this stuff. But like I said, I will be here live. Some people um, want that, and I'm willing to hold your hand through it, so don't worry. Also, I want to point you to the university right here where it says university. University is where you will find your Kickstart page. Okay, so when you guys come in here, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that in a second, you will find your Kickstart page, and you will see Abby and Christy's beautiful faces here, not mine. And you'll know that this is your team page where you will do your Kickstart training. So you will find everything there. Okay, enough of that for a second. Let's talk about the Kickstart. I'm going to go through all the details on it. I want to make sure it's super clear for you guys what we're getting into. All right. So first, let me just summarize the goal. The goal is momentum. The goal is momentum. And there's a very simple formula for building momentum. And this is true for any business. I'm going to give you the specific steps for our business. The first step of momentum is creating conversations, new ones every day. Okay, creating new conversations every day. Okay. The second step is now that you've been doing that, you have multiple ongoing conversations that are leading toward a share. that are leading toward a share. Okay. Keep in mind, some people you will have several conversations before you get there. So they may come up on Teamzy, you may have a little chit chat, they may fizzle out, they may come up again in 2 months, you may message them again, you may have a little chit chat, it may fizzle out, they could come up in a couple of months, and then now you're having a great conversation about the business. Does that make sense? Other people will be right away. That's why you want to start with your best people first. That's why we have the 5-star ranking system, so that you're talking to the people who trust you the most first, the low hanging fruit, as they say, and then you're developing the relationships of other people at the same time. Okay. Number 3, where's my cursor? It's not clicking. There it is. Number 3, you're sharing consistently. You're sharing consistently. I don't want to delude you guys to think you're going to go into Teamzy and just make people stay all day and get results. There has to be you have to be sharing product solutions and the business with people along the way. Okay. The 4th step of momentum is, now that you've done some shares, you've got people on the follow-up list and they are moving towards a sale or recruiting to the team. Okay. So an ideal day, you'd be doing all 4 of these. When you guys are brand new to Teamzy, you will be doing 1 and 2 every day for the first several days to week. And then in week 2, you will start with 3 and 4, because you've got to build some of that relationship momentum. Does that make sense? But as you get consistent in using this system, you will be doing all 4 every day. And I tell you what, it is fun. Being in momentum in the business is fun. Okay, it is fun. All right. So let's talk about the Kickstart Challenge. What is it? The first thing I want you guys to know is it's a complete onboarding program to help you guys get organized and consistent so you can build momentum in your business without letting anyone fall through the cracks. We found that doing it together for a couple of weeks not only creates a ton of momentum in the team, but it also helps everybody get over the stumbling blocks of getting set up and of doing some of the non-sexy work to get into a system like this. Does that make sense? So we'll do it together. We'll go through it together. Those of you guys, if you join the WhatsApp group, you won't see the history, but those of you guys been in the group, you saw the history, people struggling, working together, getting their stuff figured out together. Every once in a while, I would chime in, but the truth is by the time I got there, somebody else had already answered it. I love that. It was so cool. So the Kickstart is a 14-day step-by-step action plan. It's just 2 weeks. It's just 2 weeks. Okay. We're going to teach you how to set up and properly use Teamzy. You're going to know exactly what to do each day. Each day is laid out with action steps. You have a little check sheet to check off. You're going to love it. You're going to learn how to connect and make people stay. I gave you a little bit on that today. You're going to learn by doing. You're going to learn by doing. Okay. And you'll understand how to share the business without turning people off. You'll understand how to share the business without turning people off. Get some fast results to build confidence. Okay. That is a key thing. That's what we want. Well, every one of you get results in 2 weeks. We want you to be confident in doing this. From my perspective, look, let's just be honest. If you don't get results, why would you keep going with Teamzy? So I want you to get results. That's my wish for you. That's my goal for you. And then over 2 weeks to become consistent and create momentum in your business. We want you in these 2 weeks to develop the habit of using it so that you can consistently apply it after the 2 weeks. Okay. So the Kickstart includes training videos and resources that I put together. I've curated just for your team. You guys will see it on that page inside Teamzy University when you access it. It's going to have specific things. There's going to be recommendations like, hey, it's day 1. Watch this 10-minute video. Hey, it's right. So it's something easy for you to follow along with and know exactly where you are. There's a 14-day tracker that's a PDF you can download. Okay. So if you guys are techno wizards, you can use that electronically. If you love the cathartic release of checking things off a list, you can print it off and you can check it off with ink and know that you're making progress each day. So this piece right here, just setting it up, giving you the page. If I were to market this on my website, I would charge $100 for this as a course. Okay, just to kind of give you guys an idea of the value of just this piece. But we know that it's going to require more than a self-paced course. How many of you have done bought a self-paced course and not really done it? You're not trying hard enough if you haven't, right? Okay, so we're going to do an accountability group. This is a huge piece of it, okay? And the group accountability really helps. I mean, it's just the way we're wired. We're wired to succeed together in community, right? That's why you guys join the team. So this is going to be a place where we can share best practices, new ideas, awesome results. I want to see you guys posting results. It's, someone responded to my chat, can't believe it. They signed up. Also, you can seek advice. You get to know other people on the team that you don't know, which is really cool. Also, there will be daily tips posted every day, something inspiring. And the idea with the daily tip, and the tips will be labeled day one, week one, day one of Teamzy Kickstart, right? So you know it's today's post or yesterday's post. We want those to draw you back in. You'll see them pop in your feed. It's going to remind you, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be doing this Teamzy challenge. But we also want them to be an accountability post. What does that mean? It means we want you to comment every day that you did your Teamzy today. Okay. Even if you didn't get all your circles closed, like we want you to post, yeah, I got in there and did it. Even better is a screenshot of your circles, right? 100% got them. Here's my screenshot. Or I only got to 80% today, but I'm still in. Something that will let us know you're still engaged. I want you guys to feel obligated to put those posts in there so that it keeps you on track, but it will also motivate other people because when you keep seeing that post pop in your feed with new comments, it will hopefully light a fire under you to get you to open up your phone or jump on your computer and get it done. Also, we're going to encourage you guys to partner. Find a success partner to do this challenge with, okay? You may already have a success partner, so get together and say, we're going to do this. If not, you got to message people in the group and say, hey, do you want to be my partner? Will you be my partner? Partner up with people, okay? Twos and threes, groups of three are fine too. So if you already have a partner and somebody else wants to join you, you can add a third person. There's a biblical principle behind that, but three is better than two, okay, when it comes to accountability and support. So, um, what do you do with your success partner? Get on a Zoom right away with them, or however you like to connect with people, and just make a commitment to each other. Okay, I'm committed to do it. Are you committed to do it? Great. Let's hold each other accountable. Share your goals for the 14 days with each other, and also share how you would like your partner to hold you accountable if you're not showing up. Okay, because accountability. Nobody likes accountability unless it's permission based. Does that make sense? Okay. So if you do those things, you will have a really strong connection with that person. And what I want you to do with your success partner is I want you to message or text them every day of the challenge. And the message can just simply be a screenshot with did it. Doesn't have to be deep. You can encourage each other too, but primarily I want you to inform your success partner that you did your Teamzy today. Okay, which will motivate them to do theirs if they haven't, but it will be really, really, really powerful. And you'll find that a lot of times you'll become good friends through the process. You might keep that success partner in your business. There's also team leader accountability. So one of the things we built into Teamzy is a team report. The team report, your team leaders will have a team report in their system where they will share a link with you guys in the chat and you will clobber that link and it will link up your activities to their account. It'll show them real time if you're logging connects, shares, follow-ups, or new ads to your Teamzy account. Okay. It doesn't share any private data with them. It just lets them know you're working or not. So they're going to be able to see who is in there doing the work. Now, there's an important principle here, and I want you guys to know this. This principle is true as scripture. Okay. When you do the work, when you do the activity, the results follow. So Teamzy, we don't celebrate the results. We celebrate the activity. We celebrate the activity. That's what you have control over. So they're going to be watching your activity, seeing who's logging connects, who's reaching out and connecting with people, who's doing follow-ups. So they'll have the team leader reports. They'll be able to do leaderboards and fun stuff with that. Also, every one of you has a team leader report. So your team members can be on both. They could be on your team report and they could be on the upline team report. Does that make sense? So you'll find your own link in there that you can share with your team. You'll also have access to me. I'll be in the group with you. So if you want to ask a question directly to me, you tag me on it and I will be right there with you throughout these 14 days. Okay. So an accountability environment like this, when I build these for courses that we do through Teamzy or through my consulting business, we probably would charge like $1,000 to join, maybe more. Okay, just to kind of give you an idea of the value. You're not going to pay that, but just so you have an idea of what's being put together for you guys. So again, just what you're getting, 14-day training course with the tracking worksheet. You're getting the Teamzy CRM with the Power Hour built in. 14 days are going to be free, which is a $15 value. After that, you'll get a third off the regular price. Okay, because we're doing a special for you guys. By the way, that price ongoing for you, it's normally $30 a month. You'll be getting it for $19.95 a month if you go month to month, no contract. Okay, month to month, $19.95. Easy. If you go a year at a time, you can save even more. Okay, so instead of $300 a year, it's $198 a year. So you've got a couple of options. When you go in, you can choose either option. You can also just choose to go month to month, no contract, and decide to upgrade to annual later, and you'll still get the same discount. Okay, so this isn't one of those discount expiring moments. We're gonna offer that discount to you guys. By the way, we never raise prices on current customers, so you can lock that rate in forever. Okay. So you've also got the Facebook accountability with access to me. So the total value is over $1,000. What we're going to ask you guys to do is put a little skin in the game. You've got to have a little commitment to the process. So we're going to get you involved with the Kickstart for just $10. Okay, just a little skin in the game. I actually went to Starbucks the other day and got a regular drip coffee, and it was $5. So you could have 2 regular drip coffees, or you could do the Teamzy Kickstart Challenge. It's all good. Just to clarify, Abby and Christy are not profiting from this in any way. They're not taking any money from Teamzy. They're here just purely as advocates, wanting you guys to do better in the business. Of course, when we all do better, right? So there is a benefit, but they're not getting a kickback, just so you know. Not that you would ever expect that of them. Just want to clarify it. Okay. So how do you get involved with this? It's super simple. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, we're going to start on Monday. So that means that you have the weekend. In a perfect world, you will get set up and started this weekend. Okay. Get everything ready to go so that you're ready to work by Monday. Um, you can really get your account very dialed in less than an hour if you guys get after it, just so you guys know. Okay. So it's not a major task, but I know you've got a lot of things going on this weekend. So we're going to start together on Monday, start running. So what we want you to do is get your system set up and going. If you still need help on Monday, like I mentioned, I will be live on a Zoom Monday night and we can walk you through it. Oops, I went too far. So here's the link. Let me actually grab this link. Hold on a second, guys. I'm losing control of my show. Let me grab this link and put it in the chat. It's also your leaders also have this link. So but I will put it in the chat right now because some of you want to do it right now. Come on, copy. There we go. I got it. I really can do hard things. Okay, here it comes. Okay, there's the link. Now I'm going to actually open this link on my screen so you guys can see what it looks like so we can walk through this with you. Share screen. I can do this. Here it is. Okay. So this is the page. So when you get there, you'll know you're in the right place. You'll see the ladies there. Okay, you'll know you're in the right place. And then all you're going to do is click join the challenge. When you get to the join the challenge, you're going to see this page. Okay, so this is the page where you pay your $10. You'll have 2 options. You can do, like I said, you can do the month to month option or the annual option. So the way this works is you will pay $10. Let's say you do it right now. You're going to pay $10 right now. You will pay whatever you wanted to do, $19.95 or $198, after your 14-day trial is up. Okay, so you'll see that billing come 14 days later. All right. So just to clarify, if you started today, your 14 days would be up before the end of the challenge. Okay, and you would start your subscription. So just so you guys aren't surprised by that, it's no big deal. You can start your 14 days. I certainly wouldn't wait to then be behind during the challenge. So if you decided to do this and for some reason you didn't like it, your total investment It's going to be $29.95 for your first 6 weeks of access. Um, Again, like I said, not very painful. There's not many problems you can solve with $29.95 elsewhere in your life. But just so you guys all understand that, and it's super clear. So if I were to choose monthly, it will charge me 10 now, and it'll charge me $19.95 in 14 days. Okay. And you can cancel that anytime, or you can keep it going. Okay. Does that make sense? And then once it is there, you will go into your Teamzy dashboard. You'll go to university, and you can access the Kickstart page at any time. That's where you'll find your downloadable tracker. That's where you'll find all the videos that are suggested in the tracker and all the resources that we've curated to help you over these 2 weeks. Does that make sense? Okay, so stop that share. Let's come back over here. And now for the Monday night link. So it's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Okay, I'm going to get this link for you guys, put it in the chat. So where did my chat go? It's hiding, it's floating. There it is. Okay, so this is the Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific training. Okay. So save those links, and I will record the training on Monday night, and make sure that Christine and Abby have it so they can post the replay link for you if for some reason you can't make that time. What we found last time when we did this with Christy's team is that a lot of people watched that training on replay, and it still helped them get everything set up. So we will definitely record that for you guys for whoever who can't make it live on Monday. All right, questions? What has come up? Anything is all good.
I put
1
two
a.m. in the
questions
UK.
in the chat. One of my questions was, how many hours a day should we set aside to do the challenge? And do you recommend the best time of day to connect with people?
Great questions. 1 hour a day. Now let me explain what that 1 hour is. 20 to 30 minutes to close your circles in Teamzy, and then 30 minutes at least to respond to messages. Okay, so how in the world do you do all your message response in 30 minutes? You don't check your phone every 10 seconds. That's how. Okay. So set aside a time, and you might want to set aside a couple of blocks of 30 minutes. So it might be more than an hour if you're getting a great response. Maybe in morning time and in evening time where you're going to go check all your messages at once, and then you can respond all of them at once. Does that make sense? So I like to just go unread messages, boom, 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 respond. Okay. And then so if you're doing it like when I had a full-time job, I did it. Uh, this will answer kind of both questions. When I had a full-time job, I sent my messages really early in the morning, like 4 a.m. I would try to like do my East Coast people, but I figured if I was messaging on social media, it wasn't waking them up. I wouldn't text people at 4. Well, the beautiful thing about I don't know on Android because I don't have an Android, but on an iPhone, you can actually schedule your text messages to pop later. So the answer to the second question is whenever you can get it done is the best time to do it. If you're a morning person, get up early and do it, right? I have kids, and my youngest is how old is she now? She's 9. So I don't but still my kids get up early, and then there's havoc, right? So I like to get the most important things of my day done before 6 a.m. That's just the way I'm wired because I can do it without anyone needing anything from me, right? So if I'm sending a message to somebody I know doesn't probably want a 6 a.m. text, I will schedule it to pop at 8 a.m. Okay, so and that's really easy to do. There's just like a little dot 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 thing on your text messages where you can be like schedule this. So you guys will see that. Um, so if you set aside a little bit of time, let's say you have a time in the morning and a time in the evening, maybe a lunch break, small lunch break session where you're responding to messages, you're keeping those conversations flowing, right? And you can go down the whole list and respond and then pick up their responses on your next time. If you're not disciplined enough to do that, what will happen, some of you, this, if you don't have anything going on, this may be exciting for you for a minute before you get overwhelmed by it, but you'll be just messaging all day long with people as they're responding to you. Okay. So that's up to you how you want to do it. My recommendation is to set aside a few little time periods where you're going to be responding to messages. But as far as for what's required of the challenge, it's going to be less than an hour a day. Does that make sense? So, and then, like I said, if you want to sit down and have live chats with people, it seems to me the best time to do that is in the evening between like 8 and 9 p.m. It seems like that's when people are just sitting there going back and forth with you. Um, so just depending on your schedule, I used to pick up my phone after the kids went to bed and just have all the messages with people. But that will vary depending on where they work and what their day looks like. So, um, did that answer? Yeah, great. What other questions do you guys have?
Eric, how does our team connect with us so that we can see, we can do like leaderboard recognition or little shout outs or things like that?
Okay, let me show you that. So on the Teamzy dashboard, there's a thing called Team Report right here. See that? Okay. So for you, Christy and Abby, you guys are going to come in here, and on here, you're going to see where it says Team Report Invite link. Okay. You're going to copy this link. Okay. So it's just copied it. So then you share that link. So now if you shared your link with me and I click it, you're going to see, you would see this now in your team report. You would see my name. My name is Eric Ramon, by the way. That's
Love
how I
it.
keep all my versions straight. It's just Eric, and then the last name is the company, Eric Ramon, and you would see my activity. It would just show you exactly like this. So in a full team report, you might have a bunch of names here, and you'll see what they're doing. If they're doing a lot of connects, you'll see little flames show up next to their name. If they're not doing anything, you'll see the asleep emoji next to their name, right? And the last thing you guys want is your leader to see the sleepy emoji. So,
I
and
don't want to
remember
see
that,
anything.
so anybody with a Teamzy account can have a team report and they can invite people to it. They don't have to even be on your team. So, anybody that you want to hold accountable or keep engaged with that, you can share those links, and you can be on other people's teams. So there's no limit to how many people you can have holding you accountable. That's why I recommend you guys definitely. I know, Abby and Christy definitely want you guys on their team reports where, appropriately. And but you guys can have team reports with your downlines too, because you should be engaged with them. That they don't want to do all of it. They want you guys as leaders to also lead your teams. So that's how you set it up. It's super easy. If you ever decide you don't want to be on that report, you can go to sharing options right here, and you can remove people from your report, or you can remove yourself from somebody else's report at any time. Okay.
Nice. Thank
So
you.
it's pretty easy to do. The other thing that's really good for leaders is it will give you a message that says inactive subscription. So you'll know if somebody canceled their Teamzy. Um, However, if you do see that, guys, before you respond, sometimes there is a 24-hour period where it says inactive when it's going from free trial to subscription, where they actually are not canceled, but it just hasn't collected yet, if that makes sense. So give them a couple days before you message them when you see that, just to make sure. Okay. Was it that good? There's no more questions? Or there's some in the chat. Let me look.
I think that was it. That's all I saw.
That was so good.
Christy was a customer
Um,
for 6 months, she says. So,
yeah.
right? How many of you would have liked to have had Christy as your customer and then join your team?
I was
I mean, I
Um,
I was with Beachbody, I was a customer for a year before I joined and then built Teamzy. So
See, I would have loved to have you on my team too, Eric.
Yeah, it would have been awesome.
All right. Well, Abby, what were you saying? Sorry, you were talking. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, I mean, today is the 6th. I think my biggest like this week we have the opportunity to go to every single customer and tell them about the convention packs that
Hmm.
are over on the 8th. And so I was just looking now in my Teamsy, which by the way, I think this is how I'm gonna do it. It's like I'm pulling Teamsy up on my laptop, but I'm doing all my messages from my phone. Is that kind
Yep.
of
Yep.
how you,
I put my
okay,
Yeah.
so I
TZ
think
right
that's
here.
easiest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Okay. So
It
I
just
think
depends on your
today,
preference. Yeah.
yeah, today and tomorrow, I'm just like customers are priority trying to get out those messages. And I love this because it's always like, uh, it's like this is where they're all at, you know? So
Yeah.
So
this is
you,
when
So
we
your
really
numbers,
go
your
hard.
connect numbers will be through the roof this weekend,
Yeah.
because you're doing that, which is great. So
so great. And you
yeah.
guys can contact customer service and they will send you a CRM of your back office. It will only be your directs, your customers, the people that are directly enrolled underneath you, and then you can take that CRM and you can upload it into TeamZ, which makes it so easy,
Yeah.
especially those of you guys that have lots of customers.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's Friday, so I don't know how quick they are. You might not get it today, but you guys can go. Um, for those of you who want to do like Abby's doing, you can go into your back office now and start messaging people,
Mhm.
which is fine. And then, um, as you get everything set up. But it's pretty early in the
And if
morning.
you
I mean,
don't have, if you've just started and you don't have like just manually add them. Look at your back office and like if you only have like 10, you do it yourself.
yeah,
Don't wait on the
yes,
report.
for sure, for sure. That's a
yeah,
huge,
it's
that's
very
the
easy to
beginning.
add people.
Awesome.
Andrea has her hand up. What can I help you with?
Um, so this is gonna be sound like a dumb question. So the challenge is to close your rings every day. Is that what we're
That's
doing?
fine.
That's
That's, I would say yes. And also there's little boxes underneath that say things like use the product, exercise. And when you hit those, then you get a 100% rating.
Yeah, yeah, because there's four things that we know you got to do in addition to doing this activity to be successful, to be in integrity and to be really representative is you've got to be sharing on social, you got to be doing personal development work, getting some exercise and using your products. So those check boxes are on there always as a daily reminder of things that you should be doing daily. Also, you can add dailies to your list. So
Oh, I
if
didn't
you
know
want to
that.
put Oh yeah, if you click on edit, you can add dailies. Like my account has devotional time and it has, walk the dog, you know, stuff like that. So things that you want to do, you want to remind yourself to do daily and hold yourself accountable because it is annoying when you don't get 100%. I mean, if you guys are nerds like me, I want 100%. So
I'm a
it's
big nerd then.
designed that way to be like, oh man, I didn't check off walk the dog and he's looking, where's my dog? Oh, he's on the couch right here asleep. He's he's a baby, but he'll be looking at me like, are you gonna do that? So yeah, you can customize your dailies, but those four are we call those system dailies because that's part of the success formula, right? Um, and if you're like me, sometimes I get caught in my office too long and I don't get to move my body. That's why I got this walking pad. So when I'm working, usually I'm just walking the whole time. Man, that is, I will just tell you guys, like that is such an easy thing to do. They're like $100 on Amazon.
I need to get one because I have a
And
standing desk, like my desk rises.
yeah, and it's
So
small. It's small, like it doesn't take up much space. It's not like a full treadmill. And it goes pretty fast. It doesn't go to like a full run, but it goes to like three, like on the treadmill. It goes up to like three. So yeah, even just if you're gonna like watch a video or something or scroll social media, you can be walking while doing it. So it helps kind of keep you moving a little extra if you find like you have a busy day.
I
So
love it. Well, thank you so much, Eric. And the Facebook group is now open. I put the link in the chat if you guys aren't in the group yet. This recording will live in the group. It will be pinned and featured, so it'll be at the very, very top so everybody can find it. And then Monday will also be recorded, and we will put that recording into the group as well. You're going to get your daily challenges. They are scheduled to post at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
great.
No, yeah, 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time every single day, just for you guys on the East Coast, so that when you wake up, you already have your challenge. And what you'll do is you'll check in the comment section underneath each daily challenge, basically just saying like done. So super
Awesome.
easy, super fun. Thank you so much, Eric.
It looks like we already have a good amount of people registered. 15
Oh,
already.
good. Nice. And they haven't even watched
We
this recording
started
yet.
last month working on this, so we,
I
just kidding.
started 2 days
But they're
ago.
registering.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. So you guys, Christine and Abby, I will send you, I will try it every day to kind of send you the updated list of who's registered. When you
Okay.
guys look at those lists, the especially in the first week, the most important data point is contacts imported. If you see a 0, that's somebody who signed up and hasn't taken action. So we want to make sure that we're encouraging those people to get their contacts in. Um, so we'll be monitoring that, and of course we're going to try to help people do that. But that's the biggest hurdle. Once people get their contacts in, then they can start using it. So
Love it. Okay.
all right,
All
have a
right.
great
Thanks,
day, and I'll see
everybody.
you
Thank
guys
you.
Monday night.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. All
Bye.
right.
Bye, everyone.